Hello, January. It is the first month of the year, and it is the month where we organize, where we plan, where we strategize for our business, for our projects, for all things in our life to start the year right. And I am making this video, of course, for those who manages a lot of projects each year, or it is their job, or it is their business, or maybe it is your position in your company whose authority allows you to delegate tasks to your team members, to your employees, and the like. So here are some of my experience, which was really effective on my end, and I hope this would also be effective for you, or this would also work for you. So let's get started. Hi there, it's me, Kris, your key spiller in all things digital and an advocate of wise spending. So if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been watching my videos, welcome back. And it's another day, of course, but it's really good to always start your year right. And so that is why one of the things that I really do whenever it's the start of the year is to organize, prioritize, all those things, and restructure my year right, not only in my work but also in my life. But for this video, of course, we are going to talk about how you can successfully manage your projects, your multiple projects, and organize them well. So I have been managing and also organizing my task ever since I have finally decided to become a digital marketer, and I have a team as well for my digital marketing agency who works with me and who I have shared my workflow system and also delegate my task, and vice versa. We kind of like talk about how we can improve it, and so far here are some of the things that actually work for me when in terms of organizing and managing multiple projects that is effective and also efficient at the same time. So the first one is, of course, we need to find a place for all of our projects. It can be a platform, a website, an app, and just decide on which one or which project management tool you are going to use, and make sure that your needs as well are met. Like, what is the most important feature for you? Is it going to be a deadline, or like notification, or time tracking feature, or anything at all that you think would be helpful for you in being efficient and also in making your team or yourself effective? So this also applies for those who are managing multiple projects alone, and you can definitely find a project management tool that would work for you. So again, find the right platform, website, or place for you to use in terms of housing all of your projects. The next one is knowing your expectations and defining your goals. And this applies, of course, for all aspects of life, but we know how to set goals, and so we need to define it well and make sure that they are also realistic and not just rush as well, so we don't have to mess up the timeline and milestone when setting our goals for each of our projects. And then we have knowing what to prioritize. Now this can be tricky because you want to always make sure that everything is done on time, but what if some of them coincides, like this project also needs to be done at this date, or this project at the same date, and this can be a little bit overwhelming on like, what am I gonna work first? And that is why you need to break down each project, and then what task and work will be under them, and then after that make sure that you also know which one is really the first one to be done first, and you have to make sure that when setting the timeline for them, it is also realistic and not just something you think you need to set because you want it done that time. You also need to consider how fast your team members can work for it, or how many team members you can delegate it to, or even your capacity of working in that certain task, because we have our own preferred works, and some tasks you might find a little bit too much and you don't like working on them, but because it's part of the project, you need to tackle them, especially if you don't have a team that you can delegate it to. So just pay attention to those kind of tasks under your project so that you won't mess the deadline or you won't mess up the timeline of your projects, of course. And the next one is be flexible. This is really important because sometimes we have that perfectionist side of us that we really want to make things perfect and have to be done at that certain time, just like this. So don't be hard on yourself, just be flexible and know that there are some emergencies that you really can't control, and just make sure that you can switch instantly so that your projects won't go downhill from there. So for example, one of your team members can't finish that certain task that affects everyone or all the projects that you have, or maybe 5% of those projects that can be affected, and also the promotions and your social media for the business, or Google ads, or anything at all for the projects that you are managing. So just make sure that you set yourself to be flexible or learn to be flexible as well. Next is to organize the task in each project. So go over each project and set which task should go first, which workload should go last, and don't just jump over from one project to another without finishing to organize the first project first. So just don't multitask in between organizing your projects. Just stick to one and then go from there. Then of course we have to learn to balance workloads and timeline. Again, set it realistically and make sure you have an overview of all of your projects so that you can also make arrangements and adjustments if you think there are projects or workloads that complicates each other or have conflict with one project and the others. So just make sure that you were able to oversee all of these projects and double check if you miss anything before delegating them to your team, or before you tackle them by yourself if you are working on those projects alone. And of course, we can't forget SOPs. Even if you're working on all those projects by yourself or you have a team, make sure to compile or have your own standard operating procedures for each task, each workload, or anything at all that you're doing in those projects, so that when you try to delegate them from one team member to another, or if you want to try to work on them again, you already have a system that you can follow and it would become easier for you. You can just get them from your compilations of SOP and you're good to go. The last one is to delegate but be present. This is really advisable for those who are managing a team, that you really need to be able to delegate but at the same time be there. Don't just delegate a task and then you're just poof, you're not managing them well. I'm not saying that you need to micromanage, I'm just saying to oversee them and check and monitor them, or monitor the task every now and then, and not to half-heartedly review each task that is finished or that was done by your team members, but to really put some effort to look up everything and give feedback if ever necessary. So I hope these things would really help you in efficiently managing multiple tasks or multiple projects for this year. So I hope these tips would be able to help you with successfully managing all your projects in one platform or website. And if you have any questions at all, or any clarifications or ideas that you want to come across, don't forget, of course, to leave them in the comment section. And if you love this video, please give it a heart and share it to someone who might find it valuable. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for my upcoming videos and to be notified if I already have one. So that's it, and see you on my next one. Bye!